The recognition of humanity. The Milky Way had witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations, their legacies scattered like stardust. For eons, the Galactic Council served as the arbitrator of peace, law, and diplomacy, a conglomerate of species united by their shared pursuit of balance. With their ancient wisdom, the Council sought to integrate any species that reached the threshold of interstellar travel, judging their potential for harmony, or their capacity for chaos. When humanity first ventured beyond the fragile blue atmosphere of Earth, their arrival was met with cautious curiosity. The Galactic Council observed silently as humans broke through the barriers of their solar system, testing the edges of their newfound technological capabilities. These fragile beings, still bound by primitive conflicts, had something most species lacked: relentless ambition. From their towering spires of metal cities to their exploration of hostile planets, humans defied every obstacle, as though daring the universe to stop them. Their resilience bordered on recklessness, their courage on madness. They built spaceships faster than any expected and sent probes into the darkest corners of the galaxy. It was this audacious hunger for the unknown that ultimately drew the Council's attention. For decades, the Council deliberated on whether humanity was ready to join their ranks. They considered Earth's tumultuous history, wars that scared its surface, alliances that crumbled under greed, and the stubborn divisions that marked the species. Yet despite these flaws, humans were different. Unlike many other species, humanity's technological leaps didn't occur in periods of peace but in times of strife. Adversity seemed to fuel their ingenuity. When the day came for humanity to be formally acknowledged as a sentient species worthy of representation, Earth's response was unlike anything the Council had encountered. Most species approached their induction with awe, humbling themselves before the ancient Council. Humanity, however, brought its boldness to the table. In a grand hall floating amidst the stars, representatives from Earth entered the chamber. Their steps were deliberate, their expressions unwavering. The Council chamber, an architectural marvel of glowing crystals and shimmering starlight, amplified their presence, making the humans seem smaller than they were. But what they lacked in stature, they'd made up for in presence. The lead human delegate, a woman named Elena Vargas, stepped forward. Her dark eyes swept the room, meeting the gazes of towering alien dignitaries with calm defiance. She carried the weight of her world with her, not as a burden, but as a badge of pride. Members of the Galactic Council, she began, her voice firm and clear. We stand before you today, not as conquerors, nor as beggars, but as equals. Her words rippled through the chamber, met with murmurs from the gathered species. It was bold, perhaps overly so, but undeniably human. The Council deliberated for hours after the humans' presentation, their ancient wisdom struggling to categorize the species. Humans lacked the physical adaptations of apex predators, yet they had risen to dominate their planet. They weren't particularly fast or strong, yet they thrived in environments most species deemed uninhabitable. And then there was their psychology, a mixture of creativity, tenacity, and, at times, dangerous impulsivity. After much debate, the Council granted humanity provisional membership. The news spread across Earth like wildfire. Some humans celebrated the achievement as a milestone in their species' history, while others criticized it, skeptical of the true intentions of the alien races. But humanity's entry into the galactic community wasn't met with universal acceptance. Many races viewed them as an enigma, a species with the potential for greatness or catastrophe. Among these skeptics were the Traquarii, a militaristic race known for their strict codes of honor. To the Traquarii, humanity was a fragile species prone to chaos, lacking the discipline and unity required to survive the galaxy's harsh realities. Yet, for all their faults, humans refused to back down. When criticized, they listened, adapted, and evolved. When challenged, they fought, not out of pride, but out of a refusal to surrender. It was this resilience that began to shift the narrative, even among their harshest critics. What no one in the galaxy could foresee, however, was that this resilience was only the surface of what humanity could become. Beneath their determination lay something far more dangerous: the ability to unite when faced with a common enemy. As the stars watched silently, humanity's story was only just beginning. Little did the Council know that their newest members would soon reshape the galaxy's destiny, forcing every species to rethink what it truly meant to survive. The shadows of doubt. The Galactic Council had extended its hand, but not all were ready to embrace humanity's ascent. As Earth's delegates returned home to the celebrations of their induction, whispers began to echo across the stars. Among the many species of the galaxy, skepticism simmered, its roots planted in fear of the unknown. What were these humans truly capable of? The Traquarii were the loudest voices of dissent. A warrior race bred on a high-gravity world, the Traquarii valued discipline and honor above all else. To them, the Council's decision to admit humanity was an affront. Humans were chaotic, undisciplined, and, worst of all, unpredictable. This unpredictability gnawed at the Traquarii's sense of order, fueling their disdain. In the capital city of their homeworld, Corvic Prime, Traquarii leaders convened. Grand General Zarath stood at the center of the war chamber, his imposing figure framed by the flickering holograms of Earth's recent induction ceremony. His piercing red eyes swept over the gathered warlords. "Do you see what the Council has done?" he growled, his voice a deep rumble that silenced the room. "They have invited chaos into our midst. This species is a danger, not just to us, but to the balance we've upheld for millennia." A younger warlord, Ekris, leaned forward. "But General, the humans are weak. Their history is riddled with infighting and self-destruction. Surely they pose no real threat." Zarath's eyes narrowed. "Do not mistake their flaws for weakness. They are unlike anything we have faced before. They adapt. They thrive under pressure. And worst of all," he paused, letting his words hang in the air, "they are united by chaos." The room fell silent, the gravity of his statement sinking in. The spark of suspicion. As the Traquarii debated humanity's future, Earth was undergoing its own transformation. With their newfound place in the galaxy came both opportunities and challenges. Diplomats worked tirelessly to forge alliances, scientists collaborated with alien researchers, and traders ventured into markets that defied Earth's wildest dreams. But beneath the surface of progress, shadows loomed. Reports of alien spies infiltrating human territories began to surface, and tensions grew. These weren't just isolated incidents. They were part of a larger web of distrust woven by species like the Traquarii. In one such instance, aboard the ISS Solace, a state-of-the-art space station orbiting Mars, a group of human engineers uncovered a hidden surveillance device embedded within the station's core systems. The device was alien in origin, designed to transmit data back to an unknown source. Lieutenant Commander Marcus Reed, head of security aboard the Solace, held the device in his gloved hand, his jaw clenched. "We've been watched," he muttered, his voice heavy with anger. Beside him, Chief Engineer Elena Torres studied the device with a frown. "This technology, it's Traquarii," she said, her voice tinged with both fascination and unease. Reed's expression darkened. "The Traquarii have been vocal about their disdain for us, but spying on us, that's a declaration of hostility." Torres hesitated before speaking. "Do you think the Council knows about this?" Reed scoffed. "If they do, they're turning a blind eye. The Council may preach unity, but politics always come first. We're the new kids on the block, and some of the older players don't like us shaking things up." A test of resolve. As tensions simmered, the Traquarii decided to test humanity's mettle. Along the fringes of human-controlled space lay a small colony on the barren moon of Rhea IV, home to a population of just 15,000 settlers. It was an unremarkable outpost, primarily serving as a mining station for rare minerals. But to the Traquarii, it was the perfect target. In a sudden and brutal assault, Traquarii warships descended upon Rhea IV, their sleek, black hulls cutting through the void like blades. The colony's meager defenses were no match for the precision of the Tracheri strike. Within hours, communications were severed, and the colony was left isolated and vulnerable. Word of the attack reached Earth within days, sparking outrage. In a televised address, President Amina Okoro stood before the world, her face a mask of calm resolve. "This act of aggression will not go unanswered," she declared. "The Tracheri have underestimated our resolve, our unity, and our strength. To the people of Ria IV, hold fast. Help is coming." Across Earth and its colonies, the call to action was met with an unprecedented response. Volunteers flooded recruitment centers, scientists worked tirelessly to upgrade existing technologies, and supply lines were established at a speed that left even seasoned military strategists in awe. Among those mobilized was Captain Daniel Harlow, a veteran pilot known for his unconventional tactics. As he prepared to lead a fleet of rescue ships to Ria IV, he addressed his crew. "The Tracheri think they found an easy target," he said, his voice steady but fierce. "But they don't understand us. They see chaos where we see opportunity. They see weakness where we see strength. And they're about to learn what it means to push humanity too far." The reckoning begins. The rescue mission to Ria IV marked the beginning of what would become a pivotal moment in galactic history. As Harlow's fleet approached the moon, they found themselves facing a Tracheri blockade, a wall of warships bristling with weapons. But humanity had brought more than firepower to the table. Using advanced stealth technology and decoy drones, Harlow's fleet executed a daring maneuver that caught the Tracheri off guard. As chaos erupted among the enemy ranks, human ships broke through the blockade and landed on the moon's surface. The sight of human soldiers and medics pouring into the colony was a beacon of hope for the beleaguered settlers. Despite the odds, humanity had not abandoned them. The Tracheri forces on the ground were relentless, their discipline and combat prowess evident in every skirmish. But what they lacked was humanity's unpredictability. Human soldiers fought with a ferocity born not of training, but of necessity. They adapted on the fly, using unconventional strategies that left the Tracheri reeling. By the time reinforcements arrived, the tide had turned. The Tracheri, once confident in their superiority, found themselves retreating. Ria IV was secured, but the cost was high. The colony lay in ruins, and the scars of battle were etched into every survivor. As the last Tracheri ship fled, Captain Harlow stood amidst the wreckage, his uniform stained with blood and dust. He looked to the sky, his expression a mixture of exhaustion and determination. "This is just the beginning," he muttered. "They wanted to see what we're made of. Now they'll know." The turning point. The victory at Ria IV echoed through the galaxy like a thunderclap. For the first time in recent memory, a seemingly outmatched species had stood its ground against a superior foe. News of the battle spread rapidly, carried by both human and alien networks. Across the stars, humanity's resilience was no longer an abstract idea. It was a demonstrated fact. While humans celebrated the liberation of Ria IV, the Tracheri retreated to their strongholds, regrouping and analyzing their enemy. The Council, deeply unsettled by the incident, convened an emergency session to discuss the escalating tensions. In the luminous chamber of the Council, where starlight filtered through crystalline walls, voices clashed. "This cannot be ignored," declared Zorath, the Tracheri general who had ordered the attack on Ria IV. His crimson eyes burned with indignation as he addressed the assembled representatives. "The humans are a threat to galactic order. Their recklessness and defiance endanger us all." Elena Vargas, Earth's representative to the Council, stood in defiance. "A threat?" she repeated, her voice calm but edged with steel. "Our colony was attacked without provocation. We defended ourselves and our people, as any species here would. If anyone is destabilizing galactic order, it is the Tracheri." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Some representatives nodded in agreement with Vargas, while others eyed her warily. The humans had proven themselves capable, but that capability now inspired fear. Zarath leaned forward, his expression dark. "You are a fledgling species, Vargas. You've barely taken your first steps into the stars, and already you challenge those who have ruled these skies for millennia. Your kind does not belong here." Alina's gaze didn't waver. "We belong because we have earned it," she said firmly. "And we will not be intimidated by threats or condescension." The alliance of the discontent. As the council deliberated, the Trakeri sought allies among those who shared their mistrust of humanity. Their message was simple. Humans were a wild card, and wild cards were dangerous. The Velker, a species of cold-blooded strategists, were the first to align with the Trakeri. Known for their intricate plotting and patience, the Velker saw humanity's impulsive nature as a destabilizing force. Others followed. The Xindari, a race of aquatic traders wary of humanity's rapid technological progress, and the Granth, a hive mind species that valued order above all else. Together, they formed a coalition with a singular purpose: to contain humanity before it could rise further. In secret meetings held on shadowed moons and in the depths of space stations, these species plotted their next moves. They would isolate humanity, cutting off trade routes and diplomatic ties. They would sabotage Earth's alliances and undermine their reputation within the Council. And if all else failed, they would resort to war. But humanity was not oblivious to these machinations. The discovery of the surveillance device on the ISS Solace had prompted Earth's intelligence agencies to step up their efforts. In the shadows, human spies worked tirelessly to uncover the coalition's plans, their methods as unconventional as the rest of their kind. A call to unity. Back on Earth, President Amina Okoro addressed the growing challenges with a speech broadcast across human space. Standing before a backdrop of Earth's iconic blue and green hues, her voice carried both urgency and determination. "My fellow humans," she began, "we have entered an era of great promise and great peril. Our place in the galaxy is not yet secure, and there are those who would see us fail. But let us remember this. We are a species born of adversity. From the deserts to the frozen tundras, we have thrived where others would have perished. This moment is no different." She paused, her gaze steady. "We will not falter. We will not cower. We will stand together, as we always have, and face whatever challenges come our way. Because that is what it means to be human." Her words resonated deeply, rallying the disparate factions of humanity. From corporate leaders to military commanders, from scientists to everyday citizens, a new sense of purpose swept through human space. The battle for influence. Meanwhile, Earth's diplomats worked to strengthen alliances within the Council. Alina Vargas and her team traveled tirelessly, meeting with representatives of species who were undecided about humanity. One such meeting took place on the lush world of Averis, home to the Seravians, a peaceful, nature-loving species known for their empathy. Vargas sat across from Seravian Chancellor Lyra, her tone measured but persuasive. "Chancellor," Vargas said, "humanity does not seek to dominate. We seek to coexist. Yes, we are imperfect, but we are also capable of great compassion and ingenuity. The Trakeri see us as a threat because they fear what they do not understand. But we can be allies. Together, we can build a future that benefits us all." Lyra regarded Vargas with her luminous aquamarine eyes. "Your words are compelling, Ambassador," she said softly. "But words alone will not sway us. Actions must follow." Vargas nodded. "Then let us show you what we can do. Give us the chance to prove ourselves." The shadows strike. As Earth sought to build bridges, the coalition struck its first blow. On the mining world of Belarus IV, a human-run colony, a catastrophic explosion rocked the central processing facility. The blast claimed hundreds of lives and crippled the colony's operations. Investigators quickly determined that the explosion was no accident. Sabotage was evident, and all signs pointed to the coalition. The attack sent shockwaves through human space, fueling both anger and fear. But instead of fracturing under the pressure, humanity grew more determined. Across Earth's colonies, security measures were tightened and defenses were bolstered. Captain Daniel Harlow, still recovering from the battle at Rhea IV, was called back into service. Leading a task force charged with uncovering the Coalition's network, he knew the stakes were higher than ever. As he stood aboard his ship, the Eternal Resolve, he addressed his crew. "They think they can break us," he said. "They think we'll scatter like leaves in the wind. But they don't understand who we are. We don't run. We don't break. We endure." The crew responded with a resounding cheer, their resolve mirroring Harlow's own. The beginning of the end. The galaxy watched as tensions escalated. The Coalition's actions became bolder, and humanity's responses grew more calculated. The stage was set for a confrontation that would determine not just the fate of Earth, but the balance of power across the stars. Humanity had been tested before, but this time, the stakes were higher. As the stars bore silent witness, a question loomed over the galaxy. Could the chaos of humanity become its greatest strength, or its ultimate undoing? The unraveling threads. The galaxy teetered on the brink of chaos, while humanity scrambled to strengthen its defenses and secure its alliances. The Coalition's campaign of sabotage and misinformation escalated. Every corner of the galactic community seemed to hold whispers of human aggression, greed, and instability. The Coalition's propaganda machine worked tirelessly, painting Earth and its colonies as a rogue force incapable of coexistence. But humanity was far from passive. Behind closed doors and within the shadows of deep space, Earth's operatives unraveled the Coalition's web of lies. Intelligence agencies like the United Earth Directorate, UED, worked around the clock, employing human ingenuity and unorthodox tactics to expose the Coalition's true intentions. An unexpected ally. Among the council races, one species watched these events with quiet curiosity. The Caliph. A reclusive people, the Caliph were known for their unmatched intellect and their vast archives of galactic history. They rarely involved themselves in political matters, preferring the sanctuary of their distant star clusters. However, when the Coalition's actions began to disrupt trade routes and endanger neutral systems, the Caliph saw an opportunity. In their research, they had observed a pattern in human behavior, an inexplicable ability to unite under pressure and emerge stronger from adversity. It intrigued them, and they decided to reach out. In the shimmering halls of the Caliph's Grand Library world, Ambassador Elena Vargas stood before a delegation of Caliph scholars. Their tall, ethereal forms radiated an otherworldly light, and their voices carried an almost musical cadence. Ambassador Vargas, spoke Elder Thulus, the head of the delegation. "We have studied your kind with great interest. You are an anomaly among sentient species. Tell us, why do you believe humanity deserves a place in the galaxy?" Vargas took a deep breath, her words carefully chosen. "Elder Thulus, humanity is far from perfect. We have made mistakes, countless mistakes, but it is through those mistakes that we have grown. We are resilient because we have faced hardship. We are innovative because we have had to adapt. And we are hopeful because, despite everything, we believe in a better future." The Caliph regarded her silently, their luminescent eyes unreadable. Finally, Elder Thallus nodded. "Your words resonate with truth, Ambassador. We will not align ourselves with the Coalition. Instead, we will observe and perhaps offer our wisdom when the time is right." Though the Caliph's support was not the overt alliance humanity had hoped for, their neutrality was a significant victory. The Coalition had hoped to sway the Caliph, but their choice to remain independent dealt a blow to the Coalition's momentum. The hidden threat. Even as alliances shifted, the Coalition's plans became more dangerous. Intelligence reports revealed that the Coalition was developing a devastating weapon, a biological agent designed to target human DNA. The project, codenamed Excision, was being developed on a secret research station orbiting the gas giant Tethos IV. Captain Daniel Harlow was tasked with leading a covert operation to neutralize the threat. The mission, codenamed Starfall, was risky. The research station was heavily guarded, and any misstep could result in catastrophe. Harlow assembled a team of specialists, elite soldiers, engineers, and hackers, each handpicked for their expertise. Among them was Lieutenant Priya Das, a brilliant cryptographer who had cracked the Coalition's encryption codes, and Sergeant Kyle Danner, a grizzled veteran known for his unyielding determination. Aboard the stealth frigate Eternal Resolve, the team approached Tethys IV under the cover of the gas giant's turbulent storms. The ship's cloaking systems strained against the radiation, but Harlow's crew pressed on, their resolve unshaken. "Listen up," Harlow said, addressing his team in the briefing room. "This isn't just about stopping a weapon. This is about showing the galaxy that humanity won't be pushed around. We fight not because we want to, but because we have to. Failure is not an option." The team nodded, their faces grim but determined. The infiltration. The research station loomed ahead, its structure a labyrinth of reinforced metal and glowing energy conduits. Using a series of hacked Coalition access codes, Das guided the team through the station's outer defenses. The ship docked silently, and the team entered the station, their movements swift and precise. Inside, the atmosphere was tense. Coalition scientists and soldiers patrolled the corridors, their conversations revealing fragments of the weapon's capabilities. The team moved carefully, disabling security systems and avoiding detection. As they reached the central lab, the true scope of excision was revealed. Vats of glowing green liquid lined the walls, each one containing the biological agent. Monitors displayed simulations of its effects, showing horrifying projections of widespread devastation across human colonies. "We have to destroy this," Das whispered, her voice shaking with anger. "Agreed," Harlow said. "Danner, set the charges. Das, wipe their data. We're leaving nothing behind." As the team worked, alarms suddenly blared. Their presence had been detected. Coalition soldiers stormed the lab, weapons drawn. The escape. The ensuing firefight was brutal. The team fought with everything they had, their training and resolve pushed to the limit. Danner held the line, his heavy rifle tearing through enemy ranks, while Das frantically uploaded a virus to the station's mainframe. "Harlow, we're out of time," Das shouted. "The virus is in, but we've got to go." "Charges set," Danner yelled. "This place is ready to blow." The team retreated under heavy fire, their path to the ship blocked at every turn. Harlow led the charge, his tactical instincts guiding them through the chaos. When they finally reached the docking bay, the Eternal Resolve awaited, its engines primed. "Go, go, go," Harlow yelled as the team boarded. As the ship pulled away, the charges detonated. The research station erupted in a brilliant explosion, the blast wave consuming everything in its path. The weapon, the research, and the Coalition's plans for excision were obliterated. A message to the galaxy. The success of Starfall was a turning point. Humanity had not only neutralized a direct threat, but also demonstrated its ability to strike back against those who sought to destroy it. President Okoro addressed the galaxy once more, her words resolute. "To those who would harm us, know this: humanity will not falter. We are stronger than you think, and we will endure. Together, we will forge a future where every species can thrive, not through domination, but through resilience and cooperation." The message was clear. Humanity was no longer just a fledgling race finding its place among the stars. They were a force to be reckoned with, a force that would not back down, no matter the odds. The spark of retaliation. The destruction of the Excision Research Station sent shockwaves across the galaxy. For the Coalition, it was an unprecedented humiliation, a display of humanity's defiance and ingenuity that had shattered their most dangerous project. For humanity, it was a triumphant but costly victory, solidifying their resolve to stand firm against those who sought their eradication. But the Coalition was far from defeated. In their desperation, They shifted tactics, moving from sabotage and covert operations to open retaliation. The battle lines were drawn, and the galaxy braced itself for a conflict that threatened to engulf entire sectors. The Coalition strikes back. In the shadowy halls of the Coalition's Central Command on Velcor Prime, leaders from the Trakeri, Velcor, Sindari, and Grenth gathered. The loss of the research station had unified them in their hatred of humanity, and now they plotted their next move. General Zareth, his voice like a low growl, addressed the assembly. The humans have proven themselves to be more resourceful than we anticipated. They are not to be underestimated again. The Velcor representative, Chancellor Marnak, nodded. Agreed. We must act decisively. Humanity's colonies are scattered and vulnerable. We should strike where they are weakest and cripple their ability to retaliate. A holographic map of human-controlled space appeared, highlighting key targets. Among them was Novaterra, one of Earth's largest and most prosperous colonies, known for its advanced research facilities and bustling trade hubs. Marnak gestured to the map. Novaterra will be our target. Its destruction will send a clear message. Humanity cannot protect its own. The defense of Novaterra. News of the impending attack reached Earth through an intercepted transmission. The Coalition had underestimated humanity's intelligence networks once again. As soon as the threat was confirmed, Earth's military command sprang into action. Novaterra was no ordinary colony. It was a beacon of humanity's progress, a shining example of what could be achieved when innovation and determination were given room to flourish. Losing it would be more than a tactical blow. It would be a devastating psychological defeat. Fleet Admiral Rachel Chen, a seasoned strategist, was placed in command of the colony's defense. Addressing her officers aboard the flagship Resolute Dawn, she outlined their plan. The Coalition thinks we'll roll over and let them take Novaterra, she said, her tone unwavering. They're wrong. We've fought too hard to let them tear down what we've built. Our mission is clear. We hold the line, no matter the cost. Admiral Chen's fleet consisted of a mix of cutting-edge warships, nimble fighter squadrons, and heavily armed planetary defenses. But even with these resources, the odds were daunting. The Coalition was sending a massive armada, and their intent was clear: annihilation. The siege begins. The Coalition's fleet arrived in Novaterra's orbit like a storm, their warships blotting out the stars. Waves of fighters surged toward the colony, their engines glowing like malevolent fireflies. Planetary shields flared as they absorbed the initial bombardment. But the strain was evident. On the ground, Novaterra's citizens took shelter in reinforced bunkers, while defense forces manned anti-aircraft batteries. The colony's governor, Lena Moreau, coordinated evacuation efforts for those in the most vulnerable areas, her voice steady despite the chaos. In the skies above, the battle raged. Admiral Chen's fleet engaged the Coalition head-on, their ships weaving through fields of enemy fire. The Resolute Dawn spearheaded the counterattack, its railguns tearing through enemy frigates with precision. Captain Daniel Harlow, now commanding a squadron of elite pilots, led the charge against the Coalition's fighters. His voice crackled over the comms, calm and authoritative. "Stay tight, stay focused," he ordered. "Remember your training, and we'll get through this." Harlow's squadron danced through the chaos, their maneuvers pushing the limits of their ships. Coalition pilots struggled to keep up, their rigid tactics no match for humanity's adaptive, unpredictable style. The turning point. Despite their bravery, the defenders of Novaterra were slowly being overwhelmed. The Coalition's superior numbers began to take their toll, and critical sections of the planetary shield started to fail. Admiral Chen knew they couldn't hold out much longer without reinforcements. As the situation grew dire, a transmission came through from Earth's high command. Reinforcements were on their way. But they were hours out, hours that Novaterra didn't have. Chen made a bold decision. She ordered her fleet to split into two groups, one to hold the line and protect the colony, and another to execute a high-risk maneuver to disable the Coalition's command ship. The Resolute Dawn led the strike force, its crew steeling themselves for what could be their final mission. As they closed in on the enemy flagship, they faced a relentless barrage of fire. The final gambit. Inside the Resolute Dawn, Chen stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the enemy command ship. "All hands, prepare for impact," she commanded. "We're going to punch a hole straight through their defenses." The Resolute Dawn charged forward, its shields absorbing punishing blows. With precise coordination, the strike force targeted the enemy flagship's weapon systems, creating an opening for Chen's ship to deliver the killing blow. As the Resolute Dawn closed the distance, Harlow's squadron provided cover, engaging enemy fighters in a desperate dogfight. "Hold them off as long as you can," Harlow shouted, his ship narrowly avoiding a missile. The Resolute Dawn fired its main cannon, a massive energy beam that pierced through the enemy flagship's hull. Explosions rippled across the ship as its systems failed, and the Coalition fleet faltered. The tide of battle shifted. With their command ship destroyed, the Coalition forces began to retreat, their cohesion shattered. A hard-won victory. The reinforcements from Earth arrived just as the battle ended, their arrival ensuring the Coalition couldn't regroup for another attack. Nova Terra was saved, but the cost was staggering. Dozens of human ships were lost, and the colony's defenses were in ruins. As the dust settled, Admiral Chen addressed her crew. "We've proven that humanity won't back down," she said, "but this is only the beginning. The Coalition will come again, and we must be ready. They think we're fragile. Let's show them just how strong we can be." Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread. Humanity had held its ground against overwhelming odds, and the Coalition's aura of invincibility was shattered. The war was far from over, but for the first time, it seemed winnable. And in the shadows, the Caliph watched, their interest in humanity growing.